Okay, so then we left off on example 3. So what we are inching our way toward is to be able to solve quadratic equations of any form. Right now, the only quadratic equations you know how to solve would be something like this that crosses the x-axis, right? You do that graphing. So what we're inching toward is to be able to find solutions to parabolas that don't cross the x-axis at all. And we're going to use imaginary numbers to help us with that. So we don't need to worry about why we're doing it quite yet. We got to get the mechanics down. So we're at x squared plus 81. We're just going to treat this like an equation. All right. So then that means we're going to subtract the 81 to the other side. Now, something to keep in mind, and I say keep in mind as if you remember this, maybe you never knew this. But the biggest exponent in an equation is telling you how many solutions you should be trying to find. So in x squared, we should be looking for 2 solutions. And the reason that works out is if you think about what we're like graphing over here, at most we'd have, right, 2 solutions. Okay, so that's true with any equation. The biggest exponent is how many solutions you should find. So what's the opposite of squaring? Square rooting. So we're going to square root both sides. So this would be the square root of negative 81. And now all of a sudden we have this plus or minus situation. Okay? Because, like, the easy way for me to say this to you is, if you're doing an equation and you need to take a square root at some point, you better get a positive and a negative answer. Now, the reason that's true is because a solution to an equation is what you can plug in to make a true statement. So if you think about squaring something, I think you would say that 2 squared is 4, but also negative 2 squared is also 4. So both of those answers would be correct. And so that's where the plus and the minus comes from. Is that okay?
So like when x squared subtract 81 equals 0 have a real solution?
Say it again. X squared minus 81
Yeah.
would have a real solution. 2 real solutions, correct. Yeah. Okay? So it's only imaginary if you're taking the square root of this negative number. All right, so now we got to simplify this down. So how do we simplify negative 81? Square root of negative 81? Here it is. Blake, this is what you've been waiting for. All right, tell them how to do it.
Me?
No, them. You just told me you didn't know how to do it. Say it. You got to deal with your I first, right? So it's an imaginary number, so this is really I square root of 81. All right, now I think I said this yesterday, but I'm not asking you to forget everything, right? If you know what the square root of 81 is, you don't need to do the factor tree. Okay, and so yeah, the square root of 81 is 9. Okay, so then it's plus or minus 9i. Is that okay? Oh, I didn't say it was hard. Is that okay? I like seeing your all's faces. Oh my God! Wait a minute. Hold on. Jeez. Let me go back here. Yeah, this is way better. Way better. Way better. Okay. All right. I'm okay now. All right. Hold on. Right. So here's your check. See if you know how to do it. I'll slow walk it here in a second. There you go. Hold on. The part A. Is that what you're doing? Part?
No.
Oh yeah, you can do it. You can do it greater than. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, so part 2, I didn't like save any questions.
Why not? I thought you did just.
I know, but like, cause I looked at it and I was on 16 and wasn't having my answer in it. So I redid it and I turned it in.
That's not good.
But
I'm recording, by the way.
Oh my god.
No one watches them, so it's okay.
Okay, well, can you like check and see?
Yeah, can I do it here in a second?
Okay, everyone watching now. Sure. I went back and it would not save, like at all. It wouldn't save my answer.
Yeah, I can check for you, but yeah, give me a second. Did we get to there? Is that where we're at? You guys getting this right? Yellow doesn't pop quite as much as I thought it would. Is that what we're getting? Are we on the right track?
I don't understand what you did with the 3.
Divided by 3. Divide by 3, yeah. Is that good? Okay. So then here's our two answers. Negative 3i and positive 3i. Listen.
I've got a question. Where do we use this in?
Oh, look at him. He's all smug up there like there's no use for it. He's like,
I
oh,
know
I will get him this time.
I know there's a use for it, I just wanna know what the use is for.
Patience. Patience, my child.
Question.
Patience, my child.
Why does the I go after the number after you square root it?
It's just like standard form. It doesn't like, it's not incorrect if it's the other way around. Okay. All right, we happy so far? Yes, no?
No, I know there's a reason for it, I just wanna know the reason. So there's 2 answers to every one of them?
So there's potentially 2 answers to every one of them. Okay? All right, we okay? Negative 3i, positive 3i. Is that good? All right, so we got some definitions. We got a couple pages of definitions here. Complex numbers. It's written over there, but I like to write it out again. Right? A plus bi. That's a complex number where a is the real part. And when I say real part, what I'm saying is that a is going to be a real number. Okay? And then it also is composed of an imaginary part. Okay, so this is just definition of what a complex number is. It has 2 parts, a real part and an imaginary part. So far, so good?
Watch the video.
11? Is that what you wanted? 11? Was that one?
I mean, yeah, it was one of the 3 that I didn't get.
Okay, what's 11?
I did 11.
Oh, yeah, I had 11th, yeah. That's funny because like I made a joke with the other class I asked about this. Like, I wonder why the other classes didn't ask about this one. Right? So this is all about, like, we only have 4 options. Okay, so I'm going to write this over here. I is the square root of negative 1. I squared is negative 1. I cubed is negative I. And then I to the 4th is 1. Okay, and the way we're getting these is that we keep just multiplying by another I. But if you're already at 1 and you multiply by I again, now you're back up here. Is that okay? So then I to the 5th would be here. And if this is I to the 5th, then this would be I to the 6th. And this would be I to the 7th, and then I to the 8th. And now we're back at I to the 9th. And then I to the 10th. I to the 11th. So then I to the 11th is negative I. Okay? Now, the pattern is it's going by 4s. So, you know, it's not too bad to keep counting if it's just to 11. But if I ask you to do I to the 832nd, you might be like, yeah, I'd rather not. So the pattern is going by 4s, and this is what division is for. So if we took this exponent 11 and divided by 4, we would get 2 3/4. The 3 would tell you that you're at the 3rd spot.
So then we can do more
So then you could do, yeah, cause like, what did I say, 832? So what's 832? So like, if we did I to the 832nd, what's 832 divided by 4?
208.
Goes in evenly. Goes in evenly. So then, right, there's none at all, so it'd be 1. I to the 832 would be 1. Okay? Is that okay? You wanna do number 12? Oh. Does anyone have another one?
Let's do number 1. 15.
We already did one yesterday.
Yeah, we do one. Alright, so what, 15?
Yeah, we didn't this yet.
No, we haven't done those yet. Alright, so anything else from 1 to 12?
7.
Alright. No, I'm not doing it until I'm not doing recordings and not wasting my time, but spending my time uploading videos if you're not going to watch them. What, are you going to have to watch this video tomorrow? Alright. Alright, what happened? I'm doing this again. Hasn't worked. Am I not recording anymore? No, I was. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't recording. Have I not recorded any of it? I did press record at one point.
Yeah, but then it crashed.
Oh, and it stopped, but I didn't restart it, did I? Oh, man. Oh, no. People are going to get STDs now.
Why? Because you're public
Because
service and all?
yeah, because they didn't get, they didn't get
Still make
it.
a one.
Make sure you wear a condom. Alright, here we go. This is easy stuff. Add, subtract complex numbers. Easy stuff here. Basically, all you're doing is combining like terms. Please watch out for your signs, though. Alright, so we're saying 8 plus 3i minus 4 minus 10i. How are all these people that are going to be absent today? How are they going to know what we did?
Think about the people that haven't been here like 2 days.
Yeah, think about them. Let me think. I'm going to think about them right now.
Are you dreaming about them?
No, I'm just thinking. All right. So we're combining like terms. 8 minus 4. Right? 3 minus a negative 10i. All right. So please watch your signs. 3 minus a negative 10 is positive 13i. 8 minus 4. You better believe it. 4.
You sure? You're sure?
I am pretty good about that one. All right, here's your chance. Oh, how lucky are you? Another check. I did that one for you, Elena. I was like, Elena needs another check. And I worked it in. I went to the printing press. And I said, stop now! Put another check in right there. And they were like, why is this crazy person in the printing press right now? I said, don't call me crazy! It's hurtful. It's just how I am.
Maybe fitting though?
Maybe. That is true. Did you guys get this one?
I mean, he did decide to take high school math, so.
Yeah, I'm not right in the head, that's for sure. Of course. Is this what you got when you did your check? Uh-oh, you didn't watch your signs? You gotta watch your signs. Look at them deeply. Make friends with your signs. Is that one okay? You watch your signs? -5 minus a -3, right? That's really -5 plus 3. Also known as -2, aka 5i minus 8i, -3i. -3i. All right, here it is, Blake. You've been wondering. You guys thought I was lying to you. There it is, electricity. I didn't even look forward to know that electricity was involved in this kind of stuff. And there it is, electricity.
So are you telling me that electricity is imaginary?
No, I was just sitting here listening to you say it. So, anyway. The voltage V of an AC circuit, this is all real stuff, can be found using the formula V equals CI, where C is current and I is impedance. If C is that many amps, and imagine a complex number in fact, and I is that many ohms, determine the voltage. So we're going to multiply them together. We're multiplying that together. Now, I don't really care for the way they did this here. I think it's way too complicated. But you see this right here. This is what we're going to do, if you know what that means. So I'm going to do this off to the side. I'm going out of the book because I don't like the way they do it. Don't tell them that, though.
Why will they fire you?
I don't think they have a choice. They went and tried to find other people that would sit with teenagers all day and talk about math, and they came back and they were like, wait, can't find anyone.
We talk about math all day?
And sex and stuff.
Yeah.
And dogs humping.
Dog something. Yeah, dog sex. Yeah.
All kinds.
Dog and pillow sex. Are we recording? That's all right.
This time.
No, it's, go back on.
Other people know all about dog and pillow love. I'll show you the video if we get to it. It is fun. Chloe gets after it. Chloe is hardcore. All right, let's do this though. We want
still
time.
own the dog?
No, she died like several years ago.
Oh.
She had cancer, bad cancer.
That's
She was,
sad.
yeah, it was sad. She was
So is
like,
that like,
she was healthy, and then all of a sudden, like, we
is
just
that
like,
like
it went
the
bad.
only,
Like a
the
couple
only
weeks.
time stone that you have for?
She and this pillow had something going on. Let's put it that way. All right, so here we go. We're gonna FOIL. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times negative 5i is negative 15i. And now we're moving on. 2i times 7 is 14i. 2i times negative 5 is negative 10i squared. You remember doing this kind of stuff? Oh, stop it. All right, so then I'm going to combine these two terms in here. So 21 minus I minus 10i squared. Okay, but I squared is also known as negative 1. So really this is saying 21 minus I plus 10. Is that okay? Can I write it like that?
So then it'd be 31 subtract that.
So then the final answer is 31 minus I. Is that okay? And so that's the volts, 31 minus I, 31. All right, one more for me. Actually, 2 more. Because for some reason, this example, they just like work all the way out. Okay? So, in order to show you Chloe, there's an example. Okay, but let's do the check together. Sorry, Elena. Okay, thanks. All right, so you got an example, but this is how it works. We'll work it out. So the problem with this is that there's an I in the denominator, and we cannot leave it that way. All right? So then what we have to do is come up with a conjugate. And if you remember, the conjugate, all the numbers are the same. The only thing that changes is the sign in between them. So then the conjugate of this is going to be negative 4 minus 3i. Now we have to multiply it by top and bottom because we are only multiplying by 1. We're not changing any values. We're just rearranging things. Okay? And so now we have to distribute and FOIL. And this is, so again, our goal is to get I out of the denominator. All right? So then here's what we're going to do. We're going to distribute the top. You're going to see this work. So we're going to distribute right here. So then that's going to be negative 8i minus 6i squared. Is that okay? And then we got a FOIL in the denominator. So yeah, negative 4 and negative 4 is 16. Negative 4 and negative 3i plus 12i. 3i and negative 4 minus 12i, and that's where the magic happens. And then finally minus 9i squared. So again, our goal is to get I out of the way. Since we used a conjugate, those two cancel out. And with that, I squared becomes negative 1. So then we could get to this and tell me where this came from.
He took the I squared from above to the negative.
Yeah, so the I squared is negative 1, so negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6. What about the 25? Where'd that come from?
You made the I squared in the bottom, negative 1.
Because it's basically just 16 plus 9, right? Okay, so this is a perfectly fine answer. They're probably going to want you to break it into its two parts. That's the real part, and that's the imaginary part. Is that okay? What would happen? So, okay, so again, what happens is that this, this is the original. We can't have an I down there. Okay? So we had to multiply by a conjugate. But we don't want to change the value of this fraction. So we have to multiply the conjugate top and bottom because that's like multiplying by 1. So now we have to just use our normal multiplying rules. So the reason that we're doing this is because it works, because this ends up happening. Okay, so you have to be able to come up with a conjugate, and that's just the opposite sign. And then we just distribute, FOIL, mess with I squareds, combine like terms. Okay? Okay, so, before we run out of time, 1 to 30, we did 1 to 12, or allegedly you did 1 to 12. So then you're supposed to be able to do now 13 to 37. So I know up there it says spiral review is due tomorrow, but since yesterday was like a lot of stuff, tomorrow we're going to come in, ask any questions over up to 37 that you have. And then we'll do 38 to 46 and the spiral review. Okay, and if you don't get those done, then, it has to be done when you get back on Monday. Okay? So up to 37 is homework. Don't worry about the spiral review right now. How's that?